In this, their 8th season, the Nationals not only had their first winning record, they had baseball's best overall record. And today, they host the nation's capital's first postseason game in nearly 8 decades. Welcome to this MLB Network telecast presented by Geico. We are obviously in Washington, D.C., where the Cardinals and Nationals, tied at 1 apiece, will play Game 3 of their National League Division Series on MLB Network. Only the Brewers scored more runs in the National League this year. The Cardinals have 5 guys in this lineup with 20 home runs or more. Carlos Beltran, red hot in the season's first half, tailed off a little bit until September, then got hot again at the right time, including a pair of home runs in Monday's 12-4 win that evened the series. Edwin Jackson is 29 years old. He's 6'3" and 205, a 10-year veteran who's already been with 7 teams, including the Cardinals a year ago. He had 4 postseason starts for them and an overall record of 5-2 after they acquired him in a midseason trade with the White Sox. He was actually rested and ready to pitch Game 7 of the World Series against the Rangers after he started and lost Game 4. But Tony La Russa wisely went with Chris Carpenter on 3 days rest. Carpenter won the game and the Cards won the series. 4 walks. Take your pick. Line drive, base hit to left. And Holiday is aboard with 2 out.
Yeah, when you mentioned that pitching line against the Cardinals.
1-0 pitch is ripped inside third and down the line for extra bases. Holiday on his way to third. Craig is going to have a double. The ball is loose in the corner, and they send Holiday home, and the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead. And Craig is at it again.
And again, it's location. Look at Suzuki's target. And then watch his glove reach back. That pitch, middle of the plate in. Alan Craig ready, rips it down the line.
And now let's see what Michael Morse is able to do with it. Obviously, with 2 outs, Holiday is running hard, and we weren't able to tell from that angle whether he was able to play it cleanly. Grounded to Desmond at short. The Cardinals will score 1 and leave 1, but the RBI double by Craig gives them a 1-0 lead after half an inning in D.C. Carpenter pitched reasonably well in 3 outings after the surgery to repair nerve damage in his pitching shoulder. Came back in September. His record was 0-2. Didn't get much run support. This is me. Line to center. A leadoff hit for Worth. Worth is at the top of this lineup. Brian Zimmerman had been bothered by a balky shoulder. He got his 3rd cortisone shot of the year in late June, and his numbers skyrocketed after that.
Yeah, and then you look down the rest of the lineup. Adam LaRoche very quietly, more home runs than any other first baseman in the National League. Almost an MVP type year, not quite, but
he's going on the 3-2 pitch. It's a slow roller toward Freese, who boots it. They're not going. LaRoche bounces one toward Descalso. They'll get 1, but not 2. So runners at the corners with 2 out. Pitch of the first. And he strikes Morse out with it. And the Nationals leave 2.
You can hear the vendors. You can hear them here at Nationals Park. Not a lot of rock music going on.
This one is ripped to left. It'll drop for at least a single. Let's see if Freese wants to try for 2. He's on his way for a double and in there standing. Jackson checks Freese and works to Descalso, who lines it to left center field, and it falls in front of Morse. Freese is going to stop at third, and the Cardinals have 2 on with nobody out. Hit all that well, but he's hit .333 in the big leagues, and he launches this one to left. Morse going back, looking up, and it's gone. The big leagues apparently agree with Pete Kozma. In 72 at-bats during the regular season, he had 10 extra base hits, 2 of them homers, and he hit .333. And here, he puts the Cardinals in front 4-0.
We've been talking about their 2 through 5 hitters with Beltran and Holiday and Freese and Craig, and here comes Pete Kozma, a guy the Cardinals didn't even plan on. And again, another fastball, middle of the plate in. You can throw strikes, but they have to be in the right place, and that was a no-doubter. What a big blow for Pete Kozma, and gives now Chris Carpenter a 4-run cushion.
The Cardinals have sent 8 hitters to the plate, now 9, and that base hit by Carpenter means that the Cardinals are 6 for 9 off Edwin Jackson. The 2-0 from Jackson to Jay. Breaking ball, hit down to first. LaRoche fields it, gets the force, back to him, double play. And boy, did Jackson need that.
A little display of disagreement by John Jay. Nice play by LaRoche. Gives Desmond an act.
And this one is grounded to second, and Espinosa puts a finish to the top half of the second inning. But not before. The 3-run shot by Kozma puts Jackson and the Nats in a 4-0 hole.
Team
serves this one into shallow right. Beltran won't get there. Huge advantage in so-called blowout games. Here's the bunt by Espinosa, pushed toward Freese, who barehands it, throws, and gets him. The crowd doesn't approve, but the call was correct by the veteran first base umpire Jim Joyce. Davey Johnson wants a word.
Well, John Jay thought he had beaten the throw on the double play ball that he hit. And now Davey comes out to take up the argument with Jim Joyce on the bunt attempt by Espinosa. Bare hand picked by Freese. And let's just look at it. Jim Joyce only gets one look.
You know what? I might have been wrong. And Joyce might have been wrong, too. With the naked eye from here, it looked like he was out. But I'm not so sure anymore.
Yeah, anytime they're that close.
He's safe.
Yeah.
A pop-up called for by Kozma. And that'll do it in the bottom of the second. It remains 4-0 St. Louis.
The best record, it's the team that plays the best.
Sharply hit by Holiday, leadoff single, his second of the game.
I would think maybe 1 or 2 more of those.
And another 1-2 pitch to Craig. Struck him out. First strikeout for Jackson. Breaking ball wrapped to short. There's 1. There's 2. Of his career, so sometimes he has to be careful. Zimmerman hits one to right, and this time Beltran cannot get there. So it's a 2-out hit.
Yeah, I thought deep.
Well hit, right center field, but Jay will track it down. And Jackson records his second strikeout. Well, that won't happen. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game for Jackson. The question is he getting it together too late?
He's not one to take the ball away from himself. He wants it. He wants to stay out there as long as he can. But we also know that we need to watch because all things aren't even right now. He's in a different spot during the season, but we know that get him out there. We got to put him.
Hits solidly to center. Back goes Jay, shading his eyes against the sun and making the catch.
The old ballparks that Washington played.
Look at this. This ball is cranked to left, and it's off the top of the wall. Very nearly got out. Chris Carpenter owns Edwin Jackson. A leadoff double.
Man, a 118 hitter. Everybody has their nemesis.
That ball was smoked.
It was. It looked like a breaking pitch. It was. It was the old proverbial hanging slider, the one that tumbled up there with no bite, right up in Carpenter's eyes, and it looked good to him, and it was.
He got him. It was at the knees, and that one does miss outside. And Worth hits sharply in the left for a 2-out hit. And on his way to third and making it his Worth, even though the play was in front of him, and they trailed 4-0. So it's aggressive play. The play behind Zimmerman, who takes off on the 3-2 pitch, and now the bases are. This one is popped into shallow right. Beltran is camped under it, and the Nationals leave the bases loaded. Pitcher, 6-1 this year, with a strong ERA of 2.34.
Ball gets dark. Ouch.
Molina is plunked to right center field. Worth going back. The ball really carrying out by the wall. He leaps and can't get it. Harper plays the carom, and it's a double for Freed. A line drive to right. Worth makes the catch. Molina tags and heads home and scores. The ball then skips away. Stammen is there to back up. And Freese advances to third and stops there. 5-0 St. Louis. The 1-2 pitch. Struck him out swinging. A strikeout. And his 2-2 pitch. Down goes Carpenter, but the Cardinals tack on another. Hit sharply to short, and Cosma cannot flag it down. Likely scored a hit, in which case Desmond is 3 for 3. Delayed call from Joe West, and Espinosa turns away on a called third strike.
And I wonder again if that was an example of not seeing the ball. Perfect pitch by Carpenter.
23 as a rookie. 308 as a pinch hitter, and delivers a pinch hit here. A liner to right that leaves runners at first and second. And West says it's strike one. Rosenthal made his big league debut in mid-July. They began to use him a bit more in the season's last month. He mopped up the Game 2 win on Monday. And for at least another inning. Into foul ground it goes. Craig takes it. Rosenthal gets the cut. And here he is pitching in a postseason game, and immediately greeted by a base hit off the bat of John Jay. A little cue shot into right. But it becomes his first hit of the afternoon. These games were in the daytime, and they used to start at 3 o'clock. So this was the way it looked at the beginning of the game. If you were facing Sandy Koufax at Yankee Stadium, they might still be dueling, the two of them. Bouncing ball toward the hole and through for a base hit. Jay will stop at second as Worth guns it back in. And the Cardinals greet Garcia with back-to-back singles to start the seventh.
Say, let's just see if I can't poke one out to right field.
You might have caught a glimpse of Mark McGuire, the Cardinals hitting coach. Rookie right-hander. His 3-2 pitch misses by plenty and forces in a run. Well, you walk Craig intentionally. And a called strike three. His 30th pitch of the inning on the way. And it results in a strikeout. Rosenthal's 2-2. Rolled toward the hole, but backhanded by a diving Craig, covering his Rosenthal, and they got him.
Nice play, though it looked awkward. Alan Craig known more for his hitting than his defense. And the spectacular part of this play was by Rosenthal. See, Rosenthal hesitates a minute, gets over there, Alan Craig, and Rosenthal had to reach down, backhand the throw, and still get his foot down, find the bag. Nice shot by our crew to show how he just got it down before Harper's foot.
Well, they have tested Jim Joyce many meters and then stick his right hand in to touch the plate.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool, and that was cruel to Ryan Zimmerman.
Hander, Ross Detweiler, who has excellent stuff. This one's a big chopper that Rosenthal fields in fair territory. Ball's in play, and in fact, it becomes a 1-2-3 inning. New pitcher is Ryan Matthews. 28-year-old right-hander from Sacramento, California, facing Pete Kozma, who skies one into right. Worth is there to make the catch.
They're pitching a lot on stomach and adrenaline as well as just their power arm.
Jay stings one to center. His second straight hit. He's now 2 for 5 on the afternoon.
400 and some feet away, catch it over his shoulder.
Beltran drives one down the right field line. This one is going to get down and then bounce over the wall and into the bullpen for a double. Otherwise, Jay would have scored from first, running with the crack of the bat with 2 out. The 1-0 to Holiday. And that one took a bite out of him. Well, Willie himself will tell you that the catch in '54 against the Cleveland Indians, Vic Wertz hit the ball, was not the greatest catch he ever made. It was just his greatest catch on the greatest stage.
Right. Be him in the same class with Mays or Aaron.
That's toward the hole and through. It produces 1 and likely 2. Beltran sprints for the plate, and the Cardinals are cruising now. It's 8-0 St. Louis. With 2 out, consecutive hits by Jay, Beltran, and Holiday. Holiday's 3rd hit of the day, and it's 8-0 Cardinals.
Well, that's those 4 we talked about, that 2 through 5. I think Matt Holliday got this hit out of anger. He said, I'm getting tired of getting hit in on that shin. He just fought that off and drove it in the hole between third and short.
Jay, Beltran, Freeze, and the starting pitcher Carpenter all had 2 hits today. Holiday was coming out for a pinch runner, had 3. Kozma had only 1, but it was the biggest hit. Molina hits it solidly to center, but there is Harper almost right at him to make the catch. Salas replaced Ryan Franklin as the Cardinals closer and actually led the team with 24 saves in a World Championship season, but by year's end, Jason Mott had emerged. And a high fly ball to deep right, back toward the wall. Leaping and making the play is Beltran.
Wow. I think that's why Jason Worth was beating himself up earlier. He wished that maybe he would have got back, but I think Jason's play was a lot more degree of difficulty. This is just well timed. Beltran knows exactly where he is, where the wall is, times it perfectly, and makes a more difficult catch look rather easy.
Took a moment ago. 10 men left on base today by the Nationals. And Espinosa strikes out swinging. And down go the Nats in order in this inning. Had his best season in 2011. Last year, saved 43.
And he came to the party late this year. You see, just 37 games. I've been very fortunate, 55 years, being able to be a part of this game. And I think the longevity factor
will lead to yet another chance in Game 5. This one is shot into right, but right at Jason Worth. Important part of this Cardinals season as a stopgap starter when Jaime Garcia was hurt and as a long relief man. Now that Garcia is on the shelf, we asked Matheny before the game whether he'd go back to Lance Lynn.
The first few innings.
Kelly disposes of Suzuki for the first out of the 9th. Came back in time to win Game 2 of the 45 World Series against the Cubs. Carpenter just in the game. Nice play and across the diamond to retire the pinch hitter Tracy. Kelly's 0-1 pitch is hit solidly to center, but Jay right in his tracks takes it to put the finishing touches on an 8-0 Cardinal win that puts them within 1 win of the NLCS.
And all happened in the early innings. This game was determined in the early innings when Chris Carpenter pitched out of jams. And Edwin Jackson did not find his stuff, his control. And Alan Craig, Freese, Cosma, they all cashed it in, gave Carpenter and the Cardinals an early enough cushion that Washington could never get back in the game, even though they had a lot of chances, a lot of base runners.
Weight of the baseball world's shoulders on young Ross Detweiler tomorrow.
No question.
Against the team he rooted for as a kid, the Cardinals, trying to keep his Nationals alive and force it to a Game 5